Welcome to today's deep dive. Today we're going to be stepping off the beaten path a bit.
And some pretty intriguing territory,
We're talking hypnotherapy,
specifically.
past life regression.
Always a fascinating one.
If you've ever felt like there's more to this life than meets the eye,
Right.
or you feel this pull toward a certain time period, maybe you have some unexplained fears.
Hidden talents, maybe.
Ooh, hidden talents. There you
Yeah,
go.
those past lives can hold some clues.
Exactly. And we are going to be looking at the work of Adam Dentz, who's a certified hypnotherapist. He founded Sacred Stairways Hypnotherapy and Healing.
And when I was looking into his work, you know what really struck me?
What's that?
It wasn't just the hypnotherapy. I mean, obviously that's his main thing, but it's like he blends it with all these other modalities.
Right, like a more holistic.
Exactly. He's got Reiki healing in there.
Okay.
He even facilitates sacred medicine ceremonies. It's pretty wild.
Sacred medicine ceremonies, that sounds...
A little intense?
Yeah, maybe a little. What exactly are we talking about here?
Well, it's a broad term, and to be honest, I'm no expert on the specifics. But essentially, it involves using certain plants and traditional practices, often with roots in indigenous cultures, for spiritual and emotional healing.
Wow. Okay.
Definitely not your average therapy session.
No, definitely not your average Tuesday.
Exactly.
So clearly Adam is not afraid to go there, but...
He dives deep, literally.
He does, but for today's deep dive, we're going to be focusing on one particular service that he offers, past life regression.
And it's no surprise that it's so popular, you know?
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, just think about it. This idea that our experiences don't just end with this life, that our souls might carry this whole legacy forward.
It's a powerful concept.
It really is. People are drawn to it for all sorts of reasons. Unexplained anxieties, phobias they can't shake, even just this yearning for a deeper sense of meaning in their lives.
It's like when you walk into like an antique store
Oh, I love that analogy.
and you're just surrounded by all these objects, right? And each one has a story.
It's got this energy to it, whispering tales from another time.
Exactly. Except here we're talking about stories from your soul's own past.
Precisely. And, I think what fascinates me is that while there's no real scientific consensus on the validity of past lives.
Right. It's not exactly something you read in a textbook.
Exactly. But the anecdotal evidence from people who've experienced these regressions, it's hard to ignore. I mean, we're talking about profound emotional releases, this sense of interconnectedness, even practical insights into present-day challenges.
So how does it work? How does Adam guide someone through this journey into their past lives? What can someone expect if they book a session with him?
Well, it all starts with creating a safe space, which is actually one of the great things about working with Adam. It's all virtual.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so none of that awkward therapist office vibe.
You can be comfy at home.
Exactly. You can be curled up on your couch, maybe even with a cup of chamomile tea as you're journeying back through time. It's all about comfort, especially with something as potentially emotional as this.
It makes sense.
And once that safe space is established, then the real journey begins. Adam uses hypnosis to guide the client into a deep state of relaxation.
So you're quieting the mind.
Exactly. Imagine all those daily worries just kind of fading into the background as you access this different state of awareness.
Oh, I like that. It's like hitting the pause button on the everyday noise of your mind so you can finally tune into a different channel, one that's been broadcasting your soul's story all along.
A perfect way to put it.
And once that quiet space is created, what happens next? How does Adam actually guide someone to access these past lives?
Well, he uses specific techniques to sort of unlock those hidden memories. But here's the thing. It's not about digging up gossip from a past life.
Right, like finding out who is gossiping about you in ancient Rome.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
more about understanding how those past experiences, those past lives, might be echoing in the present moment.
It's giving less soap opera drama, more profound self-discovery.
Exactly. Like, imagine uncovering a past life where, let's say, you were incredibly creative, a master painter, but in this life, you've always felt stifled creatively.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Right. It's about connecting those dots, understanding those patterns that might be woven into the very fabric of your being,
Yeah.
across multiple lifetimes.
Oh, okay, that's fascinating. So what's it actually like to experience these regressions? Do people see vivid images or is it more of a feeling?
That's what's so interesting. It's different for everyone. Some people describe it as watching a movie, incredibly vivid and detailed, while others connect through feelings, a sense of knowing, maybe just snippets of images that come through.
Wow, so it's almost as if our subconscious minds have their own language.
That's a great way to put it. And that's where having a skilled guide like Adam is so crucial.
Because he can help you interpret those messages, those symbols.
It's not even so much about interpreting, but more about holding space for whatever arises.
Yeah.
He helps people navigate those emotional landscapes, whether it's a feeling of joy or maybe even some past life trauma that surfaces.
So it's not just about accessing these past lives for the sake of it. It's about understanding what they mean for us here and now.
Absolutely. It's like finally getting those missing puzzle pieces to understand your current life's picture more clearly.
Now, I imagine these regressions can unearth some pretty intense emotions, especially if someone connects with a past life that was particularly challenging or even traumatic.
Oh, absolutely. It's not always a walk in the park.
Yeah.
But that's where Adam's compassionate approach really shines through. He's trained to support clients through those moments, to create that safe space for processing those complex emotions.
So it's not about getting stuck in the past, but about bringing those experiences to light so they can be understood and maybe even released.
Exactly. It's a process of healing, of integration. And you know what's really important? After guiding clients through the past life exploration, Adam doesn't just drop them back into their everyday lives.
Oh, there's like a debriefing period.
Exactly. There's a crucial period of integration.
Tell me more about that.
Well, it's a chance for the client to kind of discuss their experiences, process any lingering emotions, and really start to connect those dots between their past life insights and their present reality.
Yeah.
They can ask questions, gain clarity, and begin that process of integrating those newfound understandings into their lives.
So it's not just about the aha moment during the regression itself. It's about the practical application of those insights afterward.
Precisely. It's about empowering people to use those past life discoveries as a catalyst for positive change in their present lives. Now, while you can talk about the general structure and the concepts, I think it's important to remember that each past life regression is a uniquely personal experience.
It's like everyone's experience is going to be totally unique to them.
Exactly, which I think is why I find Adam's client testimonial so interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be fascinating to hear those firsthand accounts.
It really is. And, testimonials are powerful for listeners, too, because they offer this kind of glimpse into what's possible.
Right. Like, even if my past life isn't exactly like that, it gives me an idea of what to expect.
Exactly.
Was there a particular story that stuck out to you?
There was one from a woman named Sarah that I found really powerful.
What was her experience like?
Well, she talked about how past life regression helped her finally break free from this pattern of unhealthy relationships.
Oh, wow. So she was able to see how maybe some past life stuff was affecting her current relationships.
Yeah, like those recurring themes we all have in our lives. Sometimes those themes might have roots that stretch back further than we realize.
That's a really interesting way to think about it.
And then there was this other testimonial from a guy named David.
Oh, okay.
And David always felt this really strong pull towards ancient Egypt,
Interesting.
but he could never really explain it. And then during his past life regression, he had this really vivid experience of a life lived in ancient Egypt.
Wow. So it was like that pull he felt was a whisper from a past life.
Right, like maybe some part of him remembered.
It's like our souls are leaving these breadcrumbs, and past life regression helps us trace our steps back home.
I love that analogy.
Oh.
And, Adam's expertise goes beyond just past life regression.
Oh, right. I did want to ask you about his book.
Yes, he wrote this fascinating book called Back to the Beyond, Exploring Near-Death Experiences Through Hypnosis.
Okay, now we're really going deep.
Right, and it's even got this great endorsement from Anita Morjani,
Oh, wow. The New York Times bestselling author.
the one and only. So, clearly, Adam knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive endorsement.
It really is. And you know what else I find really cool about Adam's approach? He has this Ask Adam series.
I was just about to bring that up. Tell me more about that.
So basically, people send in all sorts of questions about consciousness, past lives, you name it.
The big questions.
Exactly. And he answers them in these short, really insightful videos.
It sounds like he's really trying to make these topics accessible to everyone, not just like, the hardcore spiritual seekers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, because we're all on our own journeys of self-discovery.
And it's a reminder that there's always more to learn.
Absolutely. So if you're listening to this right now and something is resonating, even if it's just a little whisper of curiosity, I say, go for it. Explore it.
Dive deeper, see what's there.
Exactly. You never know what you might uncover about yourself.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you with this. What if the greatest journey you ever take isn't outward, but inward? a voyage into the unexplored territories of your own soul. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.